Hello collective, welcome to the channel. It is August 29th, 2025. I'm back with another message. Let's tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us for the collective. Collective storyline, please, Spirit. Collective storyline. I'm going to use some different decks, see if we can get a little bit, maybe some different messaging. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hope you're doing well. All right. In the central energy, Ten of Wands. There could be a heavy burden. You could be just about ready to wrap something up. In the challenge position, homecoming. In the in the subconscious, we've got the Star and the King of Cups. In the recent past, could be a renewal of divine masculine, the love of divine masculine. Like maybe, you know, we're going from these lustful thieves back to somebody who actually cares about family. I don't know, take it as it resonates. In the recent past, we've got Temperance in the reverse. Checking in for a realignment. There was a whole lot of overindulgence going on. You know, lots of addictions to all kinds of things. Mostly, it seems, there was a big addiction to the bisexual business, I should say, for the masculine. There was feminines in there too, you know, as partners and such, but it seemed to me that the majority of it was for the masculines who were, what? They were like, somebody in the dream state was real mad at me. Took me to some theater or whatever, and then he was real mad, and I said, "Are you mad?" And he says, "Yeah." And he said he was thinking about whether or not I could take a full load. So it's like that's what these masculines are geared for. It's like they're nasty, and they like offload it into somebody else's flesh temple. Anyway, there's some other stuff like that. Recent past, we got lots and lots of imbalance. And so we've got a leaving it behind. You're leaving it behind. In the near future, the fruits of your labor. The fruits of your labor. These ones, this curator and his friends are really upset that you're going to get your life of luxury. The lens that's being looked through is the Queen of Cups. So we've got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups here, rejuvenated, revitalized. In the environment, we have the Five of Cups. Somebody has failed and they're in disappointment. Hopes and fears. Well, we've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. Again, disappointment, blockages, immaturity. Immaturity. Yeah. And the outcome, Page of Pentacles in the upright. Yeah. All right. So there's a Knight of Wands here. they're attracted to your strength, or they're coming on very strong with an illusion regarding the devil. This is a magician. This is a magician looking for a new opportunity because they're currently in a painful ending, a 10 of Swords. Justice is being served, the law of cause and effect, on those who were bringing war to your life. And there's a celebration because we're returning to the strength of two together, to relationships and partnerships whose values are in alignment, which is really nice. And somebody is in a freaking nightmare because you're moving forward with it. This is an expanding idea. Expanding. Alright, so we've got the 10 of Wands here in the central energy. Third party enemy. Heavy burden. It could be it's a completion. It's a completion of the cycle of you dealing with third-party enemies and carrying the load of their burden. It's the end of you carrying the load of someone else. They're challenged because you've got this divine love here, a true community that actually has respect and honor and values. Commitment, an actual commitment. We've got a revitalization or a rebirth, renewal of the King of Cups. It could be the love of Divine Masculine. There's been a rejuvenation for some kind of love in the heart. Mercury retrograde. Divorce. So there's been a rebirth of the love in Divine Masculine, and there's a divorce, like Mercury retrograde, whatever, like there's cutting ties with the past. Cutting ties with the past, letting go, not going back, not going back. There's no retrograde, no going back. They're divorced. They're in this commitment here, and this is the completion of your heavy burden with this third-party enemy and the cycle of it. Yeah, letting go. In the recent past, it was complete imbalance. There was like two hoe bags laying their burdens on one good person and forcing them to carry their crap. They're like, oh, there's a sweet one. Let's go dump all of our crap onto them. Yeah. And the woman says, okay, honey, you can go have intercourse with her. Just let all of our burdens and all of our nastiness into her. And then, we'll go live a happy life. And it was like, wow, some kind of, what a thing to base a freaking relationship on. Liar. They can't lie about it. Whoever it is, we got imbalance, addictions and stuff, and the lies didn't stick. They can't lie about it. You weren't lying. We've got the Eight of Cups here. Disappointed. They're getting left behind. These third-party enemies. Third-party enemies. There's a confession. Leaving them behind. There's a confession. You got the Nine of Pentacles here. You're coming into the fruits of your labor. You're moving on. You're leaving them behind. You're moving on. Queen of Cups is here. And she's protected. She's protected. Somebody has failed here with the Five of Cups. Yeah, so there's no pets. They looked at this divine feminine as a pet, as an animal, as a commodity, as just a thing in a flesh suit that they could do whatever. There's no honeymoon. There's no pet. You have failed. It could be that they unalived a pet trying to get a honeymoon. Page of Cups in the reverse, very immature, and use caution, or maybe they need to use caution. Page of Pentacles in the outgoing energy, South Node, Earth sign. Sexuality, spying. So be aware that you got a South Node Earth sign who's a bisexual, third-party enemy. This is the end of your burden here with that, but you've got one here in the outgoing energy, spying, okay? They may be coming in wanting to work with you, study with you, develop some kind of a skill with you. Just be aware of that. Yeah, because we've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. This could be the partner of this Page of Cups in the reverse. Use caution. They have they failed. Pets are in the reverse. They did something to a pet. They could have unalived a pet, but it didn't work. They weren't able to trap you. Why? Because you've got a guardian. Yeah, Mr. Passion Project. Coming in strong with an illusion. They want to tap you, re-tag you, reclaim you. Divorce from the past. Divorce from the past. A completion of your heavy burden with this third-party enemy cycle. Creator. You're a bohemian. Some people get mad at that word. A bohemian. Let me check it out. The bohemian sees and values the beauty in everything, but guards against anything that endangers the soul's freedom to fly and express. Having to maintain any kind of conventional structure that doesn't resonate with the mood of the moment is tedious, unreasonable, and unbearably cruel. So it could be that those non-traditional people, this is the end of your heavy burden with the bohemian, the ones who didn't want to conform and didn't want to be a family. They didn't want to settle down. They didn't want to be responsible and pack the kids' lunch. They just wanted to boogie, oogie, oogie, you know, to disco all day long or something. So this is the completion of your cycle, of your burden with third-party enemies who did not wish to conform or be responsible. They just wanted to wander. Wanderers. Because you are getting in this commitment here. You're releasing all these third-party enemies, and they're right here all up in your business trying to latch back onto you. Things are getting real serious. Visitation. So whoever this is or whatever, it's like you're connected energetically and otherwise. There is a commitment here. Whoever this is for you, you are energetically linked and aware. The star is here. There's a rejuvenation, a revitalization of the love within this King of Cups. And we've got Mercury retrograde, which is going back. So we got a divorce. There's no more going back. He's all the way in. There's no going back to love. He is separated from the past. We've got the Temperance in the reverse, and then we've got Liar in the reverse. So you were telling the truth. You weren't lying. So we've got congratulations. You weren't lying. These people were messed up. You told the truth. And so now they're getting left behind due to the confession. Maybe they admitted it. You told the truth. You didn't lie. You weren't trying to hide anything. You were in service, and you were not creating hardship for anybody. You weren't lying. You were in service. You weren't creating hardship for anybody. You were serving people. There's a confession. Somebody may have confessed that you were serving them. So you're coming into your 9 of Pentacles. You're moving on. You're unavailable. You are coming into the fruits of your labor, your life of luxury, and you're moving on. You didn't create hardship for anybody. You made their life easier. Conflict in the reverse. You're done with this conflict. You're moving on. No more conflict. The Queen of Cups is here with her guardian angel. Protected. Protected from those who are addicted to her love, addicted to her energy, addicted to this energy here. She's being protected from these ones. And they're in a Five of Cups energy. They're disappointed and in regret. They did something. It's like they unalived a pet. And they were not able to gain a connection with you. The honeymoon's over. Things. They could not marry themselves to your material wealth or your things. The honeymoon's over. We have a Page of Cups that's in the reverse. They're immature. We've got caution. Important. They're using caution. They recognize that you're important. They recognize that it's important to be cautious. We do have a Page of Pentacles here in the outgoing energy it's looking at a financial opportunity or some kind of skill development. This is a spy, a South Node Earth sign, third party enemy. This Page of Cups in the reverse could be their partner. You're not going to fight with them. You never were fighting with them. You didn't bring them any hardship. You served them just like you were supposed to. Look, entertainment. This guy is in the entertainment industry. This could be an actor. They might be pretending. They're part of a clique, a group in the entertainment industry. Wise guy. Yeah. This is a wise guy. A witch looking to survive, or you survived the witch by remaining peaceful. You were able to disconnect from them. You remained optimistic while they were calling forth spirits upon you, and it looks like the home front sees you being you, just natural in your authentic, raw, uncut, whatever. On the home front, they've been taking notes on you. You've handled it perfectly. So it's like a body and a compass. So there's a new path, a new pathway for the body. Like you might be on a different, healthier path, working in your purpose. Working in your purpose. You're the arcana that was prophesied. And you've got attention. You've got attention here. Or you're calling attention on the horseplay, which was actually a fight with wholesome people, a wholesome feminine, actually. The snake was here exploring consciousness of the leadership and driving it using this tribe of puppet masters. Playing around, using academics, forbidden knowledge to gain a status of privilege. So there's a change here. There's forgiveness for your faith. It could be that you've got a hidden location. You were able to preserve yourself through mental trickery. And it's time for justice to be served for love. So this is the completion of your Ten of Wands burden with third-party enemies. You're carrying the burden of someone else. So that's the completion of this cycle. You don't have to carry the burden of these people who did not want to be responsible anymore. You served them well. You did not create any hardship for them. They have confessed, and you're leaving them behind. They don't know what to do. They weren't willing to be responsible. They're challenged because you've got this Four of Wands union here, and an actual commitment, a devoted, faithful commitment. And then we've got visitation. It could be that they have access or they are commanding the energy within your space. This is your guardian. They're keeping these people away from you and your household, like they're clearing the energies out of your environment by being in your environment. You may not even know they're there, but you've got family that are surrounding you. I'm not very good at putting out a spirit plate. It might be a good thing to do. Values, visitation. So your this bohemian third-party enemy is challenged because there's a commitment here, and there's too many differences between the new cycle and what you got going on and the old cycle, what they had going on. They wanted money, they wanted to be a third-party hoe bag, and they wanted to find some sweet, have their self together person so they could go dump all of their immaturity and irresponsibility onto them, dressing them up as though they were that, so they could wander around and pretend that there was something special. There is a rebirth here, or a revitalization of the King of Cups, the love of the King of Cups, so the love of divine masculine. There may have been some bindings and some kind of spell work done. But we got Mercury retrograde and divorce. There is no going back. Mistakes. Somebody wishes they could right their wrongs. Temperance in the reverse. We got liar in the reverse. You were not lying. Congratulations. You have escaped. The truth shall set you free. You're leaving them behind. They have confessed. You did not bring them hardship. You offered them services just like you were supposed to. You were the one who kept them in temperance energy. You were the one who kept their pockets full. You were the one who was processing their karmic debt. They just laid it on you. They just transferred it over onto you with a ritual. Soul contract. You did not falter. They confessed. You brought them no hardship. You served them well in that soul contract. It could be that you are moving on. Yeah, you're moving on. You've got a whole new thing here. You've got a 9 of Pentacles. You're actually coming into the reward for the fruits of your labor. You served them well while they were hurting you, stealing from you, taking everything and leaving you with nothing. You gave them it all. Now they're overwhelmed because you're not fighting with them. You're moving on from the conflict. Out of here. You're not going to fight. Somebody's stressed out because you're moving on. Queen of Cups has a guardian angel regarding these addictions and people who are addicted, these overwhelming people. They didn't appreciate you. They didn't appreciate the beauty of you. They're addicted to you, but they didn't appreciate you. So they're in a 5 of Cups energy, disappointment. They unalived a pet, it looks like to me, but they were not able to get a honeymoon with you for things. They really wanted your things, and it's too late to take any action. It's too late. They were not able to get a honeymoon with you for things. Their unaliving of the pet did not work. I heard this curator say something about she wasted the energy. So it could be that there's a feminine out there, or somebody who's behaving as though they're a feminine, that wasted the energy of another life, trying to be greedy. They just threw a life away and then wasted its energy. This emotionally immature person, they need to use caution. They need to use caution. We've got something important here, and then we've got absence. There's something important missing. They need to use caution. They're no longer seen as important. Or somebody that they knew that was important is absent. There is a Page of Pentacles here, looking to invest, to learn. But this is a South Node Earth sign who is a bisexual spy. This is a wise guy, entertainer. Could be in the entertaining industry. They're guilty. They're guilty, and we've got a new chapter. They could be guilty trying to mess up your new chapter. This is a guilty person entering into a new chapter, but they're getting detached. They are detached from your new chapter. They're detached from your new chapter. They're guilty of being a wise guy, and then what, they could be in the entertainment, or they were found at entertaining to F around, to just sleep with men, sleep with women, to spy on people, F up their world, unalive pets, waste their life force essence by stealing their life and then being frivolous with their life force essence. The truth is revealed. They're being held back. They're in regret and suffering from the damages that they have caused. They can no longer get into the space of your destiny. You are reunited here, and there is forgiveness. These ones are in disagreement. They sabotage themselves, and they have been found unworthy. The history of how fun they had while hurting others is seen very clearly. They neglected others, they were unsatisfied with their lives, and they were daydreaming about becoming you. Self-loving. But these is just a third-party hoebag in the shadow side who has no care for themselves. They just wanted to hop into your body and pretend. You know, I mean, you are somebody who cares for themselves. They don't care for themselves, but they wanted to be you and then pretend that they actually cared about themselves. Isn't that weird? That's a mental illness. They're feeling broken and shattered because people are gossiping about this, and they're being chased, and they're running away. They're confused about these secrets. Secret is you're irreplaceable. They cannot separate you from your soul tie. It was never gonna work. Somebody doesn't think they're ever going to change, but they want to talk to you. They're like, hey, you know, I understand these responsibilities regarding commitment and family, you know. They're like, hey, passion project has unfinished business. Why? Because they missed their opportunity. This is an unexpected outcome. They didn't see this coming. This prideful person has severed the connection. They want to mend this connection, but their dishonesty is being reciprocated to them. So they're going to have to suffer through the lies, the deceit, the trickery, the pain that they brought to others. They're going to have to experience that and accept responsibility for that in their life. This is the completion of your heavy burden, your 10 of Wands burden with someone else, these third-party enemies, and the cycle that they had you on. It's over. They're a bohemian. They did not want to settle down. They're very lively and dance and have a good time, but they didn't want to pack the lunch or sweep the floors or get a job, you know, and help. They wanted you to pay them. A hit and miss, a one-night stand, a tap it and tag it. Now they don't know what to do. They're looking for an escape, or they don't know what to do because you have escaped. Third-party enemy, this is a completion of that cycle. You have escaped. You're in this Four of Wands commitment, visitation. They're in your energy. They know what's going on. You have a guardian with you at all times. It could be that they're visiting these people whose values were all about money, who effed you over and then lied about you and who you were and what you were doing. So your new family is visiting those people whose values were all about money, those people who tried to drag you into a rabbit hole, or who had. They're in trouble now. There's retribution. There's a rebirth here with the star energy in the love of divine masculine, the King of Cups. Mercury retrograde is in divorce. So whatever, it's like going back. Something's going back. There's a divorce, like going back to square one. Somebody made mistakes. They're reaching out, trying to connect. There's a divorce. Now, I don't know. This could be, I don't know. Take it as it resonates. This is a completion of the carrying a burden for somebody else. It's the end of a cycle. You've escaped. They don't know what to do. They weren't willing to be responsible. In the subconscious, they're thinking about a revitalization of the love of divine masculine, and how rather than coming back, there's a divorce. They made mistakes. They wish that they could reconnect. They may have done something here. They're challenged because this commitment, I don't know, this could have been somebody who lied about their identity. They presented themselves as somebody else, but their values were all about money and crazy drama. This King of Cups may have gotten married to somebody and was carrying a burden for somebody here. This irresponsible person and whoever they were lovers with. There's a divorce. There's no going back. They're reaching out, trying to reconnect, but this person has escaped. They were overindulgent. Temperance reversed. We've got, you were not telling the truth. Telling a lie. You were not lying. You told the truth. So there's a congratulations on, again, escape. You've escaped. Whoever this third party and whatever this third party entrapment was, you've escaped it. There's no going back. You're divorced. They're having anxiety because their cup is empty. Their cup is empty. You escaped. You know the truth. They can't lie. You're leaving them behind. There is some sort of a confession. You were not causing hardship in their life. You were servicing them. You were giving them everything they needed. You had a soul contract. You were not being frivolous at all. But whoever you married was hard. It was very hard for you. You're a diamond. High value. You were serving whoever you were married to and whoever their lover was. Many lovers, maybe. You're a 9 of Pentacles and you're moving on. You're not going to fight about this, and they're overwhelmed and stressed out. Things are very hard for them. You're moving on. You're not going to fight with them. You're like, look, I'm out of here. There's a Queen of Cups here who has a guardian angel. It could be that this King of Cups is this person's guardian angel. Like maybe he's moving on. He's out of here. He's protecting this person from those who are addicted to her energy, or those who have addictions, those who didn't appreciate this person. They're going under. They're drowning. Your guardian angels are not letting this person near you. They have failed. They're in regret. They did something with a pet in the reverse. They unalived a pet or something, but they were not able to get a honeymoon. There's a divorce here. They wanted your things, and it's too late for them to take any action here. We've got a drift. They were not willing to settle down. Flighty, frivolous, unfaithful. We have a Page of Cups in the reverse. This is an emotional, immature, and insecure person. They need to be cautious because somebody who was important is absent, or there's an absent of importance. They gotta face it. It's not right. Something's not right. Something is absent. There's an important person who's absent. Something's not right. They're not seen as important. They got to use caution. We have a Page of Pentacles who is a South Node Earth sign, bisexual spy. They could be in the entertainment industry. This is a wise guy who's been found guilty and is being detached from your new chapter. They're detached from your new chapter. You're leaving, but they are spying on you here. They're all up in your freaking energy. They got a long road to go of fierce experiences because they have lost. What they put you through is coming back on them. This burning could be that there's going to be some kind of a burn. Everything is falling into ruins, and this is ending. It's over. These people are guilty of being childish and playing games with love in the dark side, causing struggle for others and breaking their promises, tangling them up in this stupid web of deceit, man, where their needs aren't met, where their life is in pieces. Secret flames, many flames they did this to. Just another notch in the headboard, man. This was the game of love. Now they're looking for an exit plan. They were tempted by the freaking snake, looking for an exit plan. You're tired of this, and maybe they're tired because they can't tap into you anymore. You're a star. That's your energy. They're crushed. They want forgiveness. Everything's crumbling, and they're alone. And it's like, oh no. They're grieving. They're at a distance, and they neglected you. They did not see this coming. Now they're being neglected. They're like, you were giving them everything they needed, and they treated you like you were trash. And when you cut it off, now they're boo-hooing, and they're like, oh no, come back, come back. Now they want to be faithful, but they won't because they're programmed to be this. There's no rebirth for them. There's a rebirth for the love in this King of Cups. He's divorcing. He's not going back. There's no Mercury retrograde. There's a divorce. Completion of your carrying this heavy burden for this love for somebody else. It's like, you know, your commitment to this person was their commitment to using you. Yeah. A black square, somebody who does the very least to gain the very most. They don't know what to do. You've escaped this cycle. They're challenged because there is a celebration here within the community and a commitment. You have another commitment. This King of Cups, it looks to me like, is in love with this Queen of Cups. He's guarding her. Tinfoil hat. So we've got visitation. We have too many difference. The values were all about money. They were all about this rabbit hole and conspiracy theory. They weren't committed to peace. They were committed to crazy drama and then planting that stuff on other people's lives, other people that they relied upon in order to have balance and enough in their life. And they had more than enough. They had a lot. So there's a rebirth in this love for this King of Cups, divine masculine. Mercury retrograde is divorce. There's no going back. This person made mistakes. They want to reconnect because you're a unicorn. You're special. You have all the gifts. But you're telling them to stay in their own lane. Stay in their own lane. This is a jealous, triggered somebody other. They got to go take care of their own damn self. They're in the temperance reversed energy. They're full of anxiety. Their cup is empty. You're not letting them feed on you anymore. They can't feed on you anymore. They're not able to lie about it. You weren't lying. There's congratulations here. And again, you have escaped. You have escaped this vampire. You're leaving them behind. There's a confession. There could be some kind of a confession. You were not giving them hardship. You were giving them services. You were taking care of everything they needed in this soul contract, and they made things very hard for you. A simp, doing the very most for somebody who cared the very least. They wanted to make life hard for this diamond. They wanted to suck the life out of you and then feed it to their vampire. They're feral. A feral narcissist who is targeting this empath and feeding on them. You've escaped. Coming into your Nine of Pentacles, you're moving on. You're not going to fight with these people anymore. They're overwhelmed because things are getting real rocky. Look, they're not a starseed. They're not a starseed. They're not connected to a starseed. It's announced. They're just a fashion witch bitch. They're nothing special. And you're taking the land back from this cult leader, shadow demon. Wow. That person, whoever this is, they weren't nothing special. This is somebody who had stolen the identity of somebody else. This is a copycat. Somebody got married to a copycat. And now they're divorced. Because they're feral. They're drowning. They didn't appreciate you. This is an addict. This Queen of Cups is being guarded, protected from this person, this feral person. Whoever this is, this woman, this third party that had trapped this King of Cups. There's freedom. There's divorce. Stay in your lane. They're trying to reach out. They're trying to reach out energetically, mentally, pawing at this person. But they can't feed on him anymore. They're going under. They're in the Five of Cups here. They're in regret. They sacrificed a pet. But they're still not able to get a honeymoon for things. And it's too late for them to take any action. They're a weed seed. They weren't willing to settle down or be responsible. This is somebody who didn't want to pack the lunches for the kids, basic things. They didn't want to do that. They just wanted to be pampered and taken care of. And that's what this King of Cups was doing. But he wasn't just doing it for that person. He was carrying the load for their lovers as well. Look, they're triggered. They're triggered. They're seen as a freaking weed seed. They didn't get the marriage. They sacrificed a pet. They unalived, and then they wasted the energy. If this is what that curator was talking about, they wasted the energy. They're not getting the honeymoon. They're triggered. There's a freaking troll. A freaking troll coming up against a legendary self-care, billionaire status, cosmically known. What do they call that? They call this a galactic feminine. They call, this Queen of Cups could be a galactic feminine. And this person here that was trying to trap this King of Cups star unicorn into a marriage contract is not a starseed. This is a copycat freaking troll, triggered because they can see who this person is. Page of Cups in the reverse, emotionally immature and insecure, needing to use caution because this important, they're being seen as somebody who is important is absent, and they got to face it. They're not seen as important. They got to use caution. Maybe they're coming up against somebody who is important. They're being removed. Page of Pentacles, South Node Earth sign, bisexual spy. Could be in the entertainment industry or is just a wise guy because he finds it fun. They're guilty. They're being detached from your new chapter because you're leaving. You're out of here and they think you're a bitch. They think you're a bitch. Cult leader. This cult leader, this is a Page of Pentacles, South Node Earth sign, bisexual spy. Entertainment, wise guy, guilty. Detached from your new chapter, you're leaving. It's announced. It's announced. There's been an announcement made. There's been an announcement made. These people, this is a fashion witch. Whoever this person is that was copycatting, this King of Cups wife or whatever, that was just a fashion witch bitch. We've got an influencer empath out here. That they were trying to be seen as a starseed influencer empath. They were trying to replace somebody else's personality and then marry their husband. They tried to get in the middle of this Queen of Cups and this King of Cups. They were trying to push their addictions onto this Queen of Cups. Huh. Wow. Narcissistic snack. They were just feeding on people. The Oracle is telling this person that thinks they're privileged to go F themselves, taking the land back from the shadow demon, love bombing, gaslighting, lust-filled players, trolls. The billionaire status legend, self-care legend is taking it back from these jealous, trauma-bonded tricksters. They were warned, and maybe they're being warned. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. The announcement is made. It's over. You don't have the King of Cups. You can't interfere with the union of this King of Cups and this Queen of Cups. They're not the Starseed. Look, it's like this is a feminine, and they got a Page of Cups here in the reverse, and then they've got a Page of Pentacles here. This is a copycat feminine who was trying to get a marriage with this King of Cups. They were sacrificing pets, doing magic. To be seen as though they were a starseed. They were trying to trap this unicorn, this King of Cups, into a marriage. There's no going back. There's a divorce. It's over. He can see clearly. This is a person that has no morals, no ethics, no desire to build anything. This is just a party animal with a black hole that they like multiple wands in. Be aware, the shame creature. This is a shame creature. This person is a hoe bag. They're out there sleeping with all these masculines and probably this cult leader, wise guy, whatever, this bitch, out there doing sex magic, sacrificing pets, trying to trap this star king of cups. Beware of the shame creature. They wanted to layer him in the blame and the shame of what they are. But he escaped. There is a homecoming and a true commitment, a visitation. They're connected. They're absolutely connected. There could be a visitation to this person that has been lying. Crazy drama. Liar, liar, liar. Conspiracy theorist. We've got gratitude or forgiveness. Number 20. The point of power is always in the present moment. Find it through the garden of gratitude. If you can't get to gratitude, get to forgiveness. Elevate your energy through acceptance, forgiveness, or gratitude. So, yeah. Four of Wands, commitment, gratitude, forgiveness. Whoever this is, they're probably not real happy. Remember the wooby. This King of Cups star is telling this liar, this hoe bag bitch, to stay in their own lane. Number 36. The wooby. Ease, that inner peace, the sense of belonging, connects you to the center of the universe. So embrace the books, the films, the poems, the music, and nature that put you back in touch with your own nature inspiring you to remember who you really are beyond your own circumstances. That which is essential is invisible to the eye. So stop looking at all the ways you don't fit in. Refuse to take account of what displeases or hurts or frustrates you. Spend this time falling in love with all the ways you belong to the planet and to your sacred, gorgeous self, your heart. And that's what this King of Cups is doing with this star energy, unicorn energy. He has reconnected with who he is, and he was sitting here being overwhelmed by an illusionist. Vampire, they're not able to feed on him. He knows the truth. And he's escaped. Yay for the King of Cups. Unicorn. He's escaped a vampire. They can't feed on him. Navigate with flow. Number 40. Navigate with flow. When you allow your heart to navigate your life, it's much easier to determine if a person, place, or opportunity aligns with your highest good. You have decided, obviously, that this person does not, because you have escaped the connection. You are connected to your heart. And you are setting a course for your own true north. Keep it simple. Simple directives coming from the heart. You're leaving behind this information or these people, this person. There's a confession. You were not offering any kind of hardship. You were supplying every single thing that this person needed in a soul contract. And they made life very, very hard for you. This is a simp doing the very most for somebody who cares the very least. A vampire. They have a trauma bond with a vampire cult leader. And you had a soul contract there, but it looks like there's a divorce here. You have escaped it. They were doing the unaliving of a pet, but they're not able to get a honeymoon. It's over. The honeymoon phase is over. They could not attach themselves to your things. Honor your body as a friend. 35. Number 35. Your body is a sacred companion, the one that will never leave you during your journey as a human creature. Always works on behalf to restore, heal, and create the balance that allows you to fully participate in this life. That kind of loyalty deserves devotion, not diminishment. So it looks like you have shed the weight of expectations. You've trimmed down the thoughts of too much or not enough. And you've given yourself to be joy. Accepting your own uniqueness. Leaving it behind. They made it like you're a diamond. You're a diamond star, unicorn. Boy, this person targeted you hard. And they're right here in the environment. This person, this feminine, is right here doing pet sacrifices, trying to get you. The honeymoon is in the reverse. They're not able to attach themselves to your things. It's too late. They're a weed seed. They're triggered. But you've also got this person's lovers here. Page of Cups reversed and a Page of Pentacles in the upright. Both of them are bisexual spies, and they really want to lay their nastiness onto you. This says, tend to your partnerships. Number 43. It's a time to review or negotiate partnerships. So you have taken stock of where you are woven into healthy partnerships and where you are not. This is a time for balanced reciprocity. You're moving on. You're not going to fight with this situation anymore. It's been a real rough road for you. This person who is trying to pass themselves off as a starseed is overwhelmed. They're not a starseed. You're moving on. There's a Queen of Cups here. Could be your guardian angel. Maybe this is somebody you're protecting. Maybe this is somebody who is protected from addicts who didn't appreciate her beauty. There's a feral somebody here who's drowning because there's protection here. Like whoever this woman is, she was like trying to lay her shit onto your true person. Yeah, they were trying to force addictions. They didn't want you to appreciate this person. Now they're going under because they're seen for who they are. They're feral. They're trying to put this shit, they're doing pet sacrifices and everything. They were trying to put that addiction and all this other kind of crap onto this Queen of Cups. King of Cups is protecting her. He sees her for who she is, and this fraud is triggered because they failed. They failed to present themselves as this beautiful starseed Queen of Cups. I can see clearly now the pain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. And we are lighting the candle of grace. Number 34. This moment calls for grace. We can't force, compel, or dictate grace. It arrives by itself on the coattails of surrender. In a society that profits from you feeling less than, you might believe that strength comes from performance, success, and dominance. But nature wants you to know that prowess and power and your own creative spark come from balance between an active will and a surrender to what is. Refuse to take things personally. See yourself as part of the living organism of nature. Accept what is while engaging your creativity to shape your personal reality. Between those opposite energies lies grace and the fierce, tender flame of your soul spark, which refuses to be snuffed out even in the darkest times, regardless of how many people are trying to snuff out your light. You have a feminine here trying to portray themselves as your Queen of Cups. She's all freaking triggered because she's just a bitch. Pretender. Holy moly. What in the heck do we got here? They're all surrounded by their lovers here. Their partners in crime. They can't latch onto your things. This is so nice, King of Cups. You know who your queen is. Focus. Focus. 38. You have a choice right now. Look at what you treasure or what you despise. What you hope for or what you fear. Either way, what you think about grows. Your focus is a power source, amplifying and expanding what it perceives. Now is the time to use this very simple power to direct the energy and flow of your experience. When you focus on what you already have with gratitude and on what you want with love and appreciation, You create the energy version of your vision before there is any proof in the material world. You can take that vision to the planning board and map your own road to world domination. How about that? Now, I don't know why that was there. I don't think you want to dominate the world. But maybe you want to dominate your world, your own personal world, and you don't want this Hobag and her two lovers here with their cult leader boss messing up your stuff. She's so upset she couldn't make you believe she's a starseed. Remember who you are. You're important. They need this. There's a Page of Cups in the reverse here. They're emotional, immature, and insecure, and they've got to use caution. You are an important person. Remembering who you are. And this bitch here, and her little bisexual lover boys here, they got to face it. You know what's going on here. Oopsie. Okay, 39. Remember who you are. Let's read about it. This moment boils down to this. You are not your circumstances. You are not your crisis, your pain, shame, or diminishment. Your anxiety and trauma are lying to you. Endeavor to remember the truth in your core. You are starlight and seashell, moon pearl and mothwing. Now is the time to remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. Allow yourself to take up all the space you need to express your particular genius. Let yourself love who and what you love unabashedly. Make no apologies for what feels most natural and alive to you. Call upon the wisdom of the ancestors that swim through your veins, carrying the song of sky and sea along the chambers of your heart. Awaken true memory and remind yourself you only need to honor your nature to embody true belonging. You are important, and you're remembering that. It's like these ones messed with your mind. They might have caused you some kind of doubt. You know, that you needed to be comforted. Maybe you need your wooby, you know? Anyhow, we've got a Page of Pentacles here. This is a South Node Earth sign, bisexual spy. They could be in the entertainment industry, or they are being used in an entertaining way by a cult leader wise guy, or a wise guy cult leader. They have been found guilty of causing damage, and they're feeling the pain from that. They're being detached from your new chapter. You are leaving them behind. There's a divorce. You've been carrying her stuff and his stuff and his stuff and potentially this cult leader stuff and every other member of their cult. Well, what was this now? So, all right. We've got Mind That Monkey. Mind That Monkey. Number 27. The monkey mind is part of your psyche that can turn your enthusiasm and bravery upside down. He is the trickster that chants words of not enoughness into your ears. Oh my gosh, the monkey minds, the monkeys of the mind. They're always trying to convince you and me and whoever else is listening of how little we are worth. They want you to believe you won't amount to anything, when it is your star quality, your love, your unicorn gifts. You're a freaking angel, a loving angel. And this triggered little bitch tried to pass off as your Starseed Queen of Cups. That's just wild to me. I'm glad you saw it. Only you can choose whom to listen to. These ones that pull your sparkle down into the depths of lostness. Or are you listening to thoughts that match your true sparkling nature? And then we've got allow anger in the reverse. Number 41. You're not allowing anger. You're not fighting. You're not engaging. You don't want to give them your energy. You want to calm your mind so that they don't feed on the chaos of it. We've got laughter heals in the reverse. Number 10. Their laughter. They were laughing at you. They thought they had this in the bag. They thought they had you. Well, you were in a soul contract. So you could have been in a soul contract. You might have been like energetically entwined. But there's a divorce and there's no honeymoon. It's like they're not able to, this pet sacrifice, it didn't work. And they're not able to laugh now. They're not laughing now. So we've got conjure the magic and then intentional stillness. They may have been trying to stagnate your life so that they could just trap you there and suck the life force essence out of you. But you alchemized the pain and you embraced effortlessness. So you alchemized the pain and then you retracted from this scenario and you are bravely going, restoring innocence, and here is your do-over. Here is your do-over. Number 29. Here's your do-over. Failure is a chimera. Part beast, part blessing. It lurks just beyond our greatest plans, terrifying us. But when we're willing to fail, that toothsome chimera can become our ally. When we dare to befriend what we fear most, we become resilient, fierce. When failure threatens to overcome you, its bite tries to convince you you're dying, but it's lying. Your soul is forged of lightning and stardust, and it cannot be destroyed. But only you can prove this truth to yourself by getting back up after failure. Insist on remembering who you really are and what you are really made of. There is magic in the wake of fiasco, and failure gives you with a chance to refine your plans. Any path that leads astray shows us how to find a better way. When we embrace failure, we tame the beasts that once terrified us. So you have your do-over. You have your do-over. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew, and I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.